Lakers are 3-0. Lakers are 1 of 4. Lakers just lost Jackson Hayes. Start the show saying thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. If you do like the content, just like, share, and subscribe. And just wanted to say appreciate you guys. Now, let's talk about the Lakers. We are 10 games in. Lakers right now have 6 wins and 4 losses, if I'm not mistaken. 6 and 4. So Lakers being 6 and 4, they're in an interesting position right now. They've won certain games that they weren't supposed to, were surprising to us that they won. Specifically talking like Suns, Timberwolves, Kings. Those are the games that we started through the season great. But through the season, what's the one surprising thing that people aren't talking about? Honestly, I'm just curious. I'll give you 5 seconds. Where's Vando? I'm joking. No, honestly, Lakers. The thing about the Lakers that's interesting about them right now is what they've been doing, how they've been leaning from the start of the season. We thought this was going to be a heavy 3-point shooting team, kind of like what they were doing in the preseason, shocking up a lot of threes. But honestly, they kind of identified what they needed to do, which is kind of like a mixture. And I had an episode with Tim Cranges, and that was one of my concerns. It's kind of like, are they going to do a little bit of mix of like their, what is going to be their identity? And they kind of found out that identity by just attacking the paint, a little bit of mix of outside shooting, a lot of Austin Reeves on ball, a lot of D'Lo, not a lot of D'Lo, but just D'Lo coming off the bench, which that's another thing which kind of was surprising. But honestly, in a nutshell, Lakers they've been good. And when you compare strength with the strength of the conference, with the strength of your competitors. And right now, if you look at the standings, which you're not supposed to, it's only 10 games in, but when you look at the pecking order, the Pelicans are non-existent. They're kind of rough right now with all the injuries. Memphis looks like they're in the fight. They look like a playoff team. Clippers are outperforming, in my opinion, without Kawhi. If anything, they're pretty high. They're higher than I understand. The Warriors right now are looking like a top 2, top 3 team, which again, that's surprising, but again, they're playing to a high level. They probably have if I'm not mistaken, they have one of the best benches in the league right now. Other than that, like Timberwolves, they look kind of iffy. OKC just lost, unfortunately, and prayers up to Chet for probably 10 weeks plus. So mainly almost the entire season, maybe. So Denver, Jokic is amazing, but they still have issues. Christian Braun has kind of like looked great. So when you look at kind of like the West, when you look kind of like how it's structured, you kind of see an understanding that the Lakers are like in the mix. Suns have looked amazing, but with Kevin Durant's injury, are they gonna fall a little bit? And I'm talking more about within the conference seeding and all that, but it's too early to tell. And a lot of the things that has to do with like, can the Lakers sustain their level of production right now? And unfortunately, that's probably my biggest takeaway, and something that's nobody really is talking about. And it's like, can AD really sustain this? Can AD really sustain this level of production, this level of effort, both on a defensive end and offensive end? Right now, he looks like a top MVP candidate, and by all means, he should be. Like, if the season ends now, he should be the MVP, in my opinion. He's been racking up some insane numbers. He leads the league right now in points. He He's not doing the Jokic numbers, which is a triple double, averaging almost a well, Jokic is averaging a triple double, but the defensive impact that AD is providing, the blocks per game, steals, just the overall, the two-way effectiveness that AD is performing looks like he is on his way to making a good list, a good argument for that MVP. But the problem here is not necessarily can AD really sustain, or are the Lakers equipped? Because right now, are they equipped to kind of sustain an AD performing at this level? And by what I mean by that is AD performing at this level means he's more active. He's going for each, like you look at it at the defensive end, he is fighting for rebounds. He's doing a little bit of everything. On the offensive end, he's being aggressive, but with the plantar fasciitis that he has in his foot, with the eye injury that he's sustaining, like that's the thing about the season. He gets banged up, and it's probably everybody in the league gets banged up to a certain point, and that's fine. My issue is kind of like, where's the help? Like, is AD gonna get some defensive help? Is AD gonna get some offensive help to a certain point? Is AD gonna have a legit backup? Right now, Hayes, and I'm recording this before the game, he's out for the Memphis Grizzlies game, and he's out for the foreseeable 2 weeks. So we're recording this in the mid-November, November 13th. You could say to a certain point that AD right now is looking like, Hayes looks like he's out for the entire month at this point, like for the rest of the month. So for the foreseeable future, you don't have a capable backup center. Now you're relying on Koloko. And that's where the issue lies. Can the Lakers sustain this level of competitiveness? Can they sustain this AD? Particularly this AD, because honestly, AD has looked amazing. It's just when AD's not on the floor, can LeBron, can the second unit kind of sustain that level of activity? It's kind of hard to see, because if you look at the bench, Christian Wood, we just got an update that in 4 weeks out, he's going to be reevaluated. Vando, there's absolutely no updates from what I can understand, or at the time of this recording. So this looks more and more like the Lakers are in a position to make a trade, or they need to. Now, I posted something on Twitter about what makes the Lakers a contender. And let me tell you what, there's not a lot of options. There's just not. I mean, Lakers are in a bind, and this new CBA is it's a tough cookie, but it's not impossible, and it shouldn't be. And it's not my job to really make a choice on the matter, but there is a couple of moves that the Lakers can make and should make. At least the obvious one would be Kessler. Kessler seems to be a defensive big. I think he's averaging double-double. I don't have the data on me right now, but at his contract, he makes less than $5 million, around 4 to 3, if I'm not mistaken. That's easily attainable. But what's the biggest issue is the price tag associated with Kessler. Kessler right now, he's young. He's right now in his rookie contract. He has, I think, 1 more year or 2 left on it. When you think about that, the value of that contract is high. It's extremely high. So I don't know if the Lakers are going to pay a first round pick or 2 to get Kessler. And that's where the problem lies. Lakers only have 2 first round picks to really do anything with. They have swaps. They have 4 second round picks, if I'm not mistaken. So They have opportunities to make moves. Problem is, you need to make moves now. Let's say Jonas Valanciunas, they want to trade for him right now. They can't because they have to kind of wait until December 15th. Oh, let's say a team wants Max Christie. They have to wait until January 15th. Let's say um let's say who else? Let's say they want to trade for Podol. Podol means you have to trade D'Angelo Russell, you have to trade um D'Angelo Russell plus probably one of the vet mins or something of the sorts. Probably is going to cost you a pick or some sort of draft capital. Then it's like, even if you see that, D'Angelo Russell, for all his hate, does provide something for this team. Who's gonna step up to fill those shoes? You see, like even at the worst, like he's a 10 point, he's a 10 to 15 point per game guy. He can light it up from three. He's a shooter. He can also play make. Like there's a lot of things that D'Lo does well. My issue is who are you going to replace that with? What talent are you going to add to this team? And when you add a center, you're not adding the level of talent required to be a contender, to be a good team. So, from my understanding, you need more than just a center. You need way more than just a center. So, Lakers are in a predicament. Tonight, we're going to see what Koloko can do. Basically, John Moran is out for this game. So, it's now on the Lakers to kind of capitalize on that, but also kind of mitigate and maybe play Rui at five, play a lot more small ball five to see how that can take away some of Memphis' size because they also have Jay Huff, they also have Edie, they also have Triple J, so they have paused the size. So now it's on the Lakers to kind of like figure that out. So in the next episode or so, I'll probably go into more details about trades, but something to be aware of is Lakers, if a team asks for, if the ask is a Max Christie cannot be added to the trade until January 15th. If a team asks for anybody else, we can do that now. But it's like this is the problem with the current Lakers. We don't have roster spots either. So it's a lot to discuss. It's a lot to dissect. But hopefully tonight we can get the win. Let's go, Lakers. Stay tuned. See you later.